What's up, Nitwits? It's Domo99, aka Slippery Pickle. And with me, as always, my co-host,
Game Over Joey, aka the sexy one.
whatever that means. Anyways, let's get to the important topic of the day. 2020, what a terrible, rough year. You know, some would say the worst year ever. But, in video games terms, probably even a worse year. So let's talk about the biggest flops and how terrible a video game year 2020 really was. So, Joe, let's have you start off. The biggest of 2020 video games is...
The biggest flop for me, they tie equally. There's two games, and I can only assume that you're going to guess what they are. Last of Us 2.
From previous podcasts, I don't think anyone should be shocked if Last of Us 2.
Absolutely not. And the Avengers. The Avengers was a big flop as well. So, for me, Last of Us 2, the game itself... The mechanics were great. Don't get me wrong. I thought the story was horrible. I don't like how it turned into a revenge story over Ellie's girlfriend. And I honestly felt it was kind of cliche.
To go with that, though, like, it loses what The Last of Us was about. And I think that's one of the biggest problems of The Last of Us 2.
I agree. I think that's putting it perfectly, and I think that's why Last of Us 2 makes it for me as one of the worst, well, actually the worst game last year, followed up by Marvel Avengers. So Marvel Avengers, that game itself had a lot of hype, had a lot of build-up. I was excited for it. The story overall was good, the actual campaign itself, but the multiplayer element was broadcasted and really talked about as I don't want to say MMO, but kind of like a Destiny clone type multiplayer. And I mean that in 100% a positive way, because I'm a hardcore Destiny fan. And if they would have pulled it off that way without the technical issues that the game launched with, I haven't went back and played it, so I can't talk about it currently in the status it's in now. Mm-hmm. But launch was trash. I played the campaign. The campaign was good. But again, had a lot of technical flaws, and then just matchmaking, the multiplayer was overall just terrible. And it was, I was very, very, very geeked for this game. But it flopped. And, with Square Enix being the publisher of it, shame on them. I expect a lot from them, being a Kingdom Hearts fan, Final Fantasy fan. The list goes on and on. But like I said, they just didn't cut it.
Square Enix is also one of those companies, too, where you don't expect a big dud.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the shocker, too. And I feel The Last of Us, like, there's so much word and so much talk and so much everything where you could prepare yourself to go one way or the other. Kind of like you get so drawn in that story. But I think with the MCU and how the world has just fallen in love with Marvel. Mm-hmm. This Marvel game being the way it is, like, this was the time. Like, you're like, we finally are going to get that perfect superhero video game. Like, it's just going to win us over. We're all going to want to play it. It's not going to be like, only people can play Spider-Man on PlayStation, or only this can be played on the Switch. And, and I thought we finally had that.
Yeah.
And Marvel just flopped. There's no pretty way to put it. I think those two are my biggest flops as well. I'll add in a couple more for fun that I think you'll get mad about, which I just don't think these two should have came out on the old gens. I think it should have only been for the new gens, and I think it would have helped it. But Cyberpunk 2077, mm-hmm. which I know you're going to say on PC, it's phenomenal, which from all I hear is very true. I'm not a huge PC gamer. That will be changing soon. And the other one just Assassin's Creed Valhalla is another one that I think it's a good game. But I just think it should wait for PS5. Even people I know that have it on PS5, they say it seems rushed. So I don't know if they were just trying to capitalize on the success they had from the previous one. Because I feel Assassin's Creed is one of those franchises that are amazing, but once they get a little bit of a good going, they pump out like 30 games real fast, and then everyone's like, well, this sucks again.
Yeah. surprisingly, I'm not going to disagree with either statement. I think that Cyberpunk 2077, I love the game, okay? I spent a couple 100 hours already on PC playing it, and those flaws that people ran into on console aren't on PC. Now, again, I do have a literally $4,000 computer. So
Yeah.
I do understand the amount of money to actually run that game to its full potential cost a lot. But even on the new gen consoles, the Series X and the PS5, the game does run really good. It's not as good as, again, a PC, but I can tell you, I actually bought it on the Series X and played it, and it ran damn good. So I want to say this. Yes, it should not have came out on the prior consoles. I think the bigger issue is with Cyberpunk is that they were developing Cyberpunk for the previous gen. The game started in development in 2012, so it was being developed for, guess what? The Xbox One and the PS3. Oh, I'm sorry, PS4. So I don't know where that miscommunication took place when they actually stopped doing that. So it's very disheartening. I am a huge CD Projekt Red fan. I'm a huge Witcher fan. I think they developed some great stuff. I think Cyberpunk is great, but it should have not came out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Then the follow-up for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I have not heard that. So I am a huge Assassin's Creed fan. As you stated too, they're good games. But I will agree, it did not live up to like Odyssey. Odyssey was a phenomenal game. I think Origins was a phenomenal game. And I think with this Valhalla, it was a great game. It felt really good. And they were trying to go back to some of their original roots with the sneaking and more or less being a true assassin. I don't think they pulled it off as good here. But overall, I think it's a great game. I don't feel like it was rushed. Yes, it was somewhat buggy, but a lot of that was fixed within the first few weeks of the game. But like I said, I thought it was good. I really personally enjoyed it. I have beaten the actual campaign. Now, I can't say I went at 100%ed everything, but I did beat the campaign. I enjoyed the campaign. I enjoyed the fighting. I enjoyed the Viking element that they brought to the game. I do think Odyssey is the best one in recent years. And I do feel like they become a lot like Call of Duty a lot of the time with cranking out a game every single year, and they shouldn't do that. I do agree with that statement. But I think these last several games that they've made have just been dead accurate in regards to mechanics, how it feels, the way it looks. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game that didn't look beautiful. They all look stunning. But yeah, I mean, I am shocked that you put Valhalla on there.
It's an underrated franchise and an overrated franchise at the same time. Going to a fun topic though, real quick. I think 2020 was such a bad video game year that Fall Guys boomed in it because of it, because people were found something so stupid and funny and great to play. And I love Fall Guys, so I'll never speak negatively of it. But it's not a complicated one, and I feel like it was the funnest game. Or Among Us, which is a game that came out in 2018, got real big in 2020. I mean, all the heavy hitters. I mean, I guess Animal Crossing's kind of lived up to expectations. So to give credit to Animal Crossing, as probably that and Ghost of Tsushima as the only two games that really stood out in 2020 as like the premier games that people are going to be like, you have to play this game, you have to get this game. I feel those two definitely are at least lived up to the hype. And whereas you had Avengers, I'm going to say Cyberpunk, I know you won't agree with that. The Last of Us 2, I feel like those games just did not live up to the big expectations. And converting that over to 2021, there's a lot of hype going into a lot of games here too. So
yeah, I want to add one more for 2020 though, and it's one I actually thought about quite a bit, and I didn't play much of it because I didn't like it when I launched it. I think Watch Dogs Legion should be an honorable mention because
I actually forgot about it.
See, I mean, right there. I mean, that in itself, I got it on PC, and I actually I couldn't play it. I played, I think, maybe 3.5 hours, and I was Very disappointed. I thought Watch Dogs 2 was actually a pretty good game. The first one wasn't so good. I gave the second one a chance. I enjoyed the second one. The third one, I think it's a really cool element. I like the fact that they took a risk, but the risk was too ambitious, and it did not live up to that hype I thought that they promoted. And then my last honorable mention has to be Fast and the Furious Crossroads. I'm a huge Fast and the Furious fan, so anyone that knows me knows I'm a massive fan of that actual movie franchise. I do miss how the movie franchise really focused on cars and, let's be real, women back when when that movie first started.
And stone TVs with VCRs in them.
Yes, and then they converted to more of an action-packed film when Dwayne Johnson entered. Don't get me wrong, I still love them to death. I'm excited for the new one coming out this year, but is it maybe next year? I can't remember. But regardless, still, the game itself was trash. It was bad. All I can say is this: I'm not gonna get too much details into it. Just look it up. Whoever's listening, if you haven't seen it, just look it up, and immediately when you see the graphics and the lip syncing doesn't match with the characters when they're talking, that's how bad it is. So just go ahead and do that for me.
I just looked up May 2021.
What? Oh, okay. I thought I saw it a trailer, and I'm excited. Again, huge fan of the series itself. I've seen every single one, probably easily 100 plus times. No joke. I love them, but I'm also a Van Diesel fan. So I thought the pacifier back in the day.
You mean Groot? You're a fan of Groot?
Well, Van Diesel, but sure.
Yeah, Groot.
Yeah, I know. But hey, man, imagine how much he got paid to say I'm Groot. Like, it's fucking great.
Hey, I mean, MCU, probably the two biggest actors they ever got at the time were probably Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper, and they made him a raccoon on a tree. So,
yeah,
go them. Great for them.
Sure. I mean, you're not wrong, man.
But I mean, I think 2020 overall, disappointing video game year. I don't know how you feel. What's your take on it? But
yeah, I am actually. Yeah, it was very disappointing. I think that there was a lot of missed opportunity, and I understand COVID had hit, but I'm sick of that excuse. So
yeah, I think that's everyone though right now.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I'm hoping this year's gonna be a lot better. There's a lot coming out that I am geeked for, and I'm just hoping they all hold up to the expectation.
Yep, we're definitely gonna have some 2021 games that get backed out to 2022, which isn't going to be a problem because voting for 2021 I think is going to be tough for Game of the Year.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So it will be a fun year coming, at least.
Hogwarts Legacy already got moved, and I mean, we were all. That's one of our my most anticipated game in the next 10 years is Hogwarts Legacy. Okay,
next 10 years.
Yeah, I just don't think anything's on top of it. Unless if it flops, and if it flops, I swear I'm not even going to say what I want to say. But I will be devastated. I will be devastated.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, I'm trying to think 2021. What else we got going? Bustin' Halo's coming. What else is coming here?
Oh, 2021. We got Far Cry 6 coming, which Gus from Breaking Bad, if anyone watched Breaking Bad, or even Better Call Saul. I mean, oh my gosh, that's going to be such a good Far Cry. I'm a huge Far Cry fan, though. I played Far Cry, the very first one, before they converted to the series that we know today. And I'm a huge Far Cry fan. And again, Voss, best villain. I say best villain of all time. I know we'll debate that a little bit, but the Joker by why am I having
Mark Hamill?
Yeah, Mark Hamill is up there as well. But Voss, man, I'm never gonna forget that scene when we first get caught, and you're sitting in the cage with your brother, and Voss just walks over, and he sticks his hand in that dirt, and he starts telling you. I don't remember the exact verbatim, but I can picture it all in my head. Phenomenal game. But, like I said, this year is going to have a lot of games. So now I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to the 2021. And What do you think is going to be the biggest flop of 2021?
All right. I'm going to say Halo because I hate on Halo enough. And I will bash at any chance I get. But
Okay.
I'm going to throw a new one that I think everyone's going to have so much high hopes for. And you're going to get mad at me because this is one that I think is one of our most anticipated. And it's
What?
Back for Blood, I fear, might have its issues at launch. And I don't want people to flip out and give up on it.
What?
But I truly feel Back for Blood might have a little trouble because I really want it to be great, and I feel it's going to be an amazing game. But I think at launch, everyone's going to need to calm down and ride the wave. I think it's going to have its issues at first, and when it works out, it's going to be a great game.
So the only reason I'm going to say I disagree because I played the beta or the alpha. I'm sorry, and I thought the alpha was great.
Yeah,
I did not have
hey, Anthem had a great beta.
Oh, no, it did not. I was in the alpha on alpha. I mean, I said alpha on alpha. Alpha on Anthem, and it was bad.
Yeah.
But I think Back for Blood is going to be phenomenal. I don't care. I don't have
I just
any...
have so much hype for it that it's going to be bad.
No,
I don't think Gotham Knights is going to come out in 2021. I would say Halo is probably my next... Well, Halo is my most one I think is going to be the biggest flop, but...
Sure.
I'm tired of talking about Halo. I just have no faith in Halo franchise.
Yep. Back for Blood, I'm going to say no, only because it's backed by the people who made the original Left 4 Dead. Turtle Rock Studios is a phenomenal developer. I thought Evolve was fantastic. Now, the problem with Evolve, it obviously couldn't get a huge player base behind it, but it also lacked a ton of content.
If Evolve would have came out now with the way Fortnite has made free-to-play games big, I think Evolve would have been a huge game.
I do too, to a good extent, but I can tell you they tried to go free to play for a while there. If you look this up, it's actually interesting. They went free to play for a long time, especially on the PC platform, and it still died. And I'm actually really shocked it did because again, I really enjoyed it. I was upset when they took it off the market and you couldn't get it anymore or play it. So I honestly, it was upsetting. But I think Back 4 Blood's gonna be great. Halo, I don't have any fear on that one anymore because one thing Xbox has been very good about within the recent years, and no one can argue this, is that they've listened to the community. They've listened to our feedback. I mean,
I just need good griff ball.
Yeah, for you, but I don't think it's gonna flop. I think that they've listened and they showed they've been listening. They've acquired studios. They're producing more games. They're producing quality content with Xbox Game Pass, and they made the Series X a beast of a console. So I honestly don't think that Phil Spencer's going to allow a flop on Halo. Now, that's just my opinion, right? So a game that I'm nervous about, and it's actually a couple of them. One being New World. And I'm bringing this one up because it is an MMO, which I love MMOs. And it's a PC game only, but it's being made by Amazon Studios. The same people that made Crucible, and Crucible flopped.
Yeah.
And I am nervous about that, but it's dropping this year. It's actually dropping within the next few months. I'm buying it regardless. I'm going to give it a shot, and I just hope it doesn't fail. Another one for me, just because I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan, is Monster Hunter Rise on Switch.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it up because, again, it's one of those games where I'm going to buy it because I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. I want to give it a shot. But it's being ran on a platform that, let's just say, is underpowered. It's impressive on what Nintendo has done with the games that they have produced on that platform. But I think Monster Hunter is a whole new beast in itself. Think of Monster Hunter World and how hard that game was to run. They couldn't get that on Switch, which is absolutely insane thinking about it. And I know Capcom makes Monster Hunter, not Nintendo. But the point being is that they're making a whole separate game for it just for the sole fact that they can't
feed to that crowd.
Yeah, exactly. And they can't make it as aggressive as they want to, which makes me scared.
I can definitely see that.
And then last but not least for me is Outriders. I am super excited for this game because I love grind games. I love looter shooters. And a lot of people are comparing this game to your Destiny but then thinking of more of like a Gears of War style and how it feels, and you get powers and the way that the just the shooting looks, and it's really Mass Effect meets Diablo is, I think, matter of fact, what IGN said about this game. And that, to me, Mass Effect, great series. Dom, I know it's your favorite. And then meets Diablo for grind. Oh my god. That, to me, sounds like a dream come true. But again, it's being published by Square Enix. And that, again, it just, this whole past history with them recently, it scares me. I think, I mean...
Isn't that funny? One bad game, and now we're worried about them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, really, I mean, it's absolutely insane to think. Even with CD Projekt Red, like, again, Cyberpunk was great on PC, but I still agree with everyone else. It was unacceptable to release it in that and really how it was just unacceptable, right? When they launched it, it definitely fell short. I agree with that. And again, I'm a huge CD Projekt Red fan, huge Cyberpunk fan. So, and that's coming from me. So,
yeah,
that should say enough in itself. But those are my flops. I for a second I thought to myself, is there anything else? And I was gonna say Deathloop, and I'm not too interested in the game itself. And I was gonna say Deathloop because it's Bethesda, and I know.
I think Bethesda has bigger How much? It's $7 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, $7 billion things to worry about now. Where I think Bethesda's selling out to focus on Skyrim from now on, or Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. And I honestly, Deathloop, I know it's by Arcane Studios, who made Dishonored and so forth, and I love the Dishonored series, but again, I just don't have high hopes for that game. But there is a game I do want to bring up real quick. I know it has nothing to do with our topic, but there's been a lot of leaks for Battlefield 6 and its current day, and I am stoked for that game. Now, this is going to be for a whole new video, but I read this article today where a lot of people are thinking that Battlefield 6 may be free to play. And
that would be insane.
Yeah, if they pull that whole free to play element to it, it will be insane, and it will be crazy with the amount of people that they get to actually download and play that versus Call of Duty. But I am ready for a brand new Battlefield game. And last but not least, I'm just going to throw this in here just because I feel like being a dick. I think Ragnarok is going to blow.
I mean, hey, I think it's going to live. I mean, it has a lot of pressure now. I mean, we talked about it before. There's games where they can catch you off guard, where it's like, oh, God of War is always a good game. It's a good game, and they just blew us out of the water with the last one. I mean,
oh yeah.
There's another way. So now expectations have been set. Yeah, it's like in sports. You have a Super Bowl winning team. Now all of a sudden it's like, can they do it again? Like, was it a fluke? Yeah, I think it's one of those moments. Yeah,
I mean, you're definitely right, and I think that's kind of why I'm nervous for it, because I thought God of War 1, 2, and 3 were good games, right? Mm-hmm. But I'll be honest, they didn't blow my mind away. I wasn't like, this is freaking awesome. 4 came out, I was like, this is phenomenal.
And you weren't sad to play it.
Correct. And this newest one, I think the hype is going to be tremendously high. And I'm going to say something that like a lot of people are going to hate too. Right off, I don't think... Here's my thing with PlayStation games in general. They're play it once, and then you put it on your shelf, it collects dust. And I can't say I've went back and played Last of Us 15 times, 10 times. I haven't. Same thing with God of War 4. I've played it twice. And I enjoyed it, but I'll never see myself going back to play it again. Even with getting a PS5, I can't see myself going to play it in 60 frames per second. I just can't see it. I don't think they don't have much replayability. So, for me, it's a one and done. And I just don't think Ragnarok is going to live up to 4. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a flop. It's obviously going to have a huge player base. But if they went the same route as Last of Us 2 did, it's not going to be good. But yeah, that's my thoughts on all that. I think we got a great year coming up in 2021 with all these new games coming out. And for the 2022 games, I think it's only going to get better, especially for Microsoft, just because of the amount of studios they have. I'm excited to see what this year brings, and then next year especially.
I definitely think this will be a year, and this is going to be a topic that we visit a lot this year of like anticipated games because there's going to be so many, and there's going to be so many setbacks, and it's going to change this list and update this list, and it's going to be a running theme of 2021. With COVID last year, who knows how far back some of these studios are, and if they're just trying to power through and get things done. So we're going to learn. We're going to learn a lot real fast. I feel, especially even saying by mid this year, we're going to have a lot more dates and everything. And I think going back to what you said about if Battlefield really goes free to play, what does Call of Duty do to respond to that? Because I know people that don't even play the actual Call of Duty games and just play Warzone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Fortnite has really changed the game in that aspect. Mm-hmm. You have so many different games now that are free to play, and people just play them, and because it doesn't cost you anything, and who cares? And if you like it, you continue. If you get a massive game like that to flip,
yeah,
it would be a interesting concept to see what the rest will do or how they'll make their money. If it's going to be battle pass only, if that's what they're banking on, or if they're going to do like skins and everything like most other games do that are free to play.
Yeah, and I agree. And for me, I've always been a huge Call of Duty fan, right? Growing up playing it, I loved it. Huge fan. But I always liked Battlefield better. And I know a lot of people may disagree with me on that, but here's the thing. Growing up playing Battlefield on a PC and being able to fly a jet for the first time, this is way back in the day. I'm talking about early 2000s with some of the original Battlefields was absolutely insane. And I think that I've always enjoyed the actual rule strategy element that you use in Battlefield versus where in Call of Duty's run and gun, so completely two different games, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least in Conquest and Battlefield. Because I guess there is a team deathmatch, right? I never played it. I just played Conquest. I love the big team battle element.
It's okay.
What?
The team deathmatch.
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing to...
Yeah, it's nothing that, that's where you go to Call of Duty for. Two completely different games. I love both. But Battlefield Conquest is just unmatchable. And they're doing 64 versus 64 in this new one, which is going to be absolutely mayhem. I can only imagine the map sizes now. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I think 2021 has a lot in store for us. And we're going to be getting our first Battlefield leak. And it sounds like we're just advertising Battlefield right now. We're going to get our first Battlefield leak here real soon, from my understanding, within the next month or two. And I am ready. I am ready for a Battlefield game. I am ready to really just play something different from DICE Studios, because I think they're a great studio. I love, again, I know this is one of those games people aren't a huge fan of, but I love Battlefront, and I think Battlefront 2 is a great game. I do think it started off rocky, but it has only gotten better. And I understand that I wish there was more of a story element to it too, but a good subject to talk about next podcast, though. I'm bringing this up in this podcast mainly because I don't think we ever talked about this, but EA is not the only one developing the games now. Ubisoft is getting involved, and I think that is absolutely insane because Ubisoft makes some good games, but they should have went to someone else. But we can talk about that next time. But yeah, that's all I have. Yeah.
Hey, I think it's a solid topic. I think there is definitely more to talk about for the future too. One thing I do want to bring up, guys, please like, subscribe, comment, tell us we're awesome, tell us we suck, all the above. Follow us on, what are we, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
Yes, actually, well, real quick, but while we're signing off here, we do have a Facebook page now. I do want to bring it up. It's kind of work in progress, but you can go to it and like it. We definitely appreciate any support that we get. But yeah, we're branching out to all social media. So yeah, absolutely go like our social media, go follow us. Any support that you guys can provide, we greatly appreciate it. As of right now, we're doing this as a hobby, but we would love to make this full time to produce content for you guys. As Dom mentioned in this video, he doesn't have a PC yet, but when he does get a PC, I think that's where we're really going to be able to produce more content for you guys on Twitch, YouTube, and just different platforms. And I would love to branch to actual podcast platforms like Spotify and so forth. we're working our way there, and any support we can get from you, we greatly appreciate it.
Definitely. I mean, I don't think I could say it better myself. We're not even asking for money right now. We're just asking for you to click a like.
Yeah, we're asking for likes and views, and that's it. Even I mean, I know everything else comes with the future. We'll be consistent with it as long as you guys continue to watch. We appreciate anyone that watches, even if you don't like and subscribe. We just enjoy the view.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sound like it's gonna sound like two little kids, but every time we upload a new video, we're looking, hey, we got 40 views, we got 50 views, and regardless, we appreciate you watching us.
Definitely.
And if you can drop a like and subscribe, it means the world to us. And as we continue to learn how to use new editing software, and really producing, we'll produce more content, more quality content. I know we're kind of at the bare bottom right now, but it's only going to get better from here.
Hey, like Wall Street bets, baby, take us to the moon.
Yeah, take us to the moon. All right, guys.
All right, Nitwits. Stay classy, have fun. We'll talk to you next time.
And we love you.
Oh, yeah, every once in a while we love you.
All right.
I'll keep him off. Our allies are in trouble. We need to help our friends. Yeah. An ally has been slain.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Away we go. On the road. Friends don't leave friends behind. Only the beginning. They're both gonna need a hospital. You've only just begun, haven't you? were warned. An enemy has been slain.
Your left tower is under attack.
Our allies are in trouble. Double kill. All right, calm down already. An ally has been slain. Back! They were warned.
Going up?
We need to help our friends.
I can still fight.
Just come here.
Away we go!
Your team has destroyed a left enemy tower.
So no one can stop you?
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has been destroyed.
Friends don't leave friends behind.